In our telling of the story of the fall of Adam and Eve into sin, there is one detail of the story that we usually overlook. That omission then gives rise to the question, where was Adam when Eve was having her fateful conversation with Satan? Since Adam is not mentioned during that conversation, we naturally draw the inference that Adam was off somewhere working in the garden out of earshot of what Eve and Satan were discussing. But is that what really happened? Let's take a look. We go to BibleHub.com/interlinear, click on Hebrew Interlinear Chapters. Since we're already in the book of Genesis, all we have to do is select chapter 3, and we scroll down to verse 6. And just reading here from the translation offered to us by the interlinear. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, then she took of its fruit and ate, and she gave also to her husband with her, and he ate. Do you notice this word, with her? In Hebrew, it's imah. Just so there is no uncertainty about the meaning of this word, let's parse it out. The first two consonants form the Hebrew preposition im, which means with. And attached to the end of that preposition is the Hebrew letter he, which as a suffix forms the feminine singular pronoun, her, as we say in English. Let's check the lexicon to see what it says about this preposition im. To do that, we click on Strong's Concordance number above the word. The lexicon confirms that im is a preposition that means with, together, or among. So where was Adam all this time while this conversation was going on between Eve and Satan? Imah, with her. So Adam was not the victim of Eve's gullibility as he later claimed. When Satan approached Eve and began that conversation about the forbidden fruit, it was Adam's responsibility to step in and protect his woman. Rather, he sat back and just let Eve handle it, as he watched the conversation play out, which is often what we husbands do when someone or something intrudes into our family life. When my wife and I learned this insight from Genesis chapter 3, it changed the way we handled those intrusions. My wife feels uncomfortable telling a door-to-door salesman or telemarketer, "No, thank you, we're not interested." But she has found that she's very comfortable telling the intruder, "Here, talk to my husband." And I have no qualms about sending the peddler packing. "Here, talk to my husband." That's what Eve should have said. And let Adam send that peddler of forbidden fruit packing. I mentioned in my previous video, when I come across a new English translation of the Bible, I turn to Genesis chapter 3 to check a few key verses. And this verse is one of them. And I'm happy to report that most English versions of the Bible get verse 6 right, rendering it either as, "She took from its fruit and ate, and she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate," or, "She gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it." But there are several popular paraphrase versions of the Bible that omit this important phrase, "with her," translating the verse simply as, "She took of its fruit and ate it, and she also gave some to her husband, and he ate it." In the description below this video, I've listed some versions that translate this verse correctly, and those that don't. You might want to check out how your favorite translation of the Bible renders this verse. We're not quite done with Genesis 3. There's still one more important test verse, which we will examine in our next video.